So let's start making your fantasy creature. I'm going to make a brand new file, either File, New, Blank File, or I can just press on my keyboard, Control-N. I'm going to call this Animal. I'm always going to use inches. My width will be 8 inches, my height will be 6 inches, and resolution will be 300 pixels per inch. Always RGB color, and the contents will be white. Click OK. So I have my piece of paper here, and I would like to start putting in the parts of the body. So I will go over to the top of my screen and either go to File, Open, or I can just use this, this button right here that says Open. This box will pop open and I will see all the things that I have saved, and I just have these tiny little icons. What makes it a little easier to see what each picture is, to go over to this box where it says View Menu and choose Large Icons. And now I can see exactly all the different things that I have saved. I'm going to find the fish body because that's the thing that I want to start with. I'm going to double click on that one. In order for me to use just the fish's body without taking his head, I am actually going to use the tool over here that is called the magnetic lasso. If I click on that one, I have a few different lassos down here to be as a choice. However, I'm going to choose the one that has the little magnet on there. Once I've done that, I can start going to the place where I want to begin. So if I click, and I will move my mouse. Occasionally I have to click around to remind it exactly which line I want it to go on. If my hand gets bumped by accident, I can always press backspace on my keyboard and I can get that mouse to go back to where I wanted it to continue. If it gets all over the place and out of control, and sometimes that happens, just use your keyboard and there's a button on the top left corner that says Escape. Click on that one and now that's an easy way to start over. So I will begin over here and I'm going to click where I want it to go. Try to stay as close to my line. The magnet on this lasso helps keep me in line. Press backspace. I missed a spot right there. Once I get toward the end, I can either get really close to where I started or I can double click. And so now you see these little marching ants, and that tells me that that's the selection that will be moved. I need to choose my move tool, otherwise it's like moving air around. I didn't actually grab the image that I want to grab. So I need to go to my move tool, and then I know I'm on my move tool because I have these boxes around that tells me that that's ready to be moved. Photo bin. And then I'll take the fish's body and pull it right over here, drag it into my workspace. From this spot, I can move it around. This is really kind of a neat thing. I can either make it a little bit fatter, a little bit thinner. What else I can do is I can take from the top and flip it over to the bottom. I can flip it upside down or vice versa. I can also go to the sides here. If I go to where the box is and I click on that, click and drag, and I can bring the fish's body right on over there. All right, so I'll set that in there. In order to set it in place, I can either double click or click on this check mark. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a head. I'll go back over here to where it says open, and I will find the dragon's head. Now I'll double click on that guy. I'm going to go back over here to my lasso tool again and go around and try to stay as close as I can to the line of the places that I want to stay. I'm actually taking a little bit more than I really need. Double click. All right, so I'm happy with that selection. I need to go over here to Move Tool, Photo Bin, take the head, drag it on over this way. All right, so I made it over to this paper. And from this point, I'm thinking that his head can either stay looking this way or I can flip it over that way. Just kind of depends on how I want it to look. I'm actually going to flip him over this way. And I'm working in a space that's kind of small, so I'm actually going to take my zoom tool and get a little closer. So I can take back to my move tool and I can move this guy's head around, and I'm seeing that his body looks like a little bit big for that head, so I might even shrink that down a little bit, bring that up. I'm not going to worry that this white space is there because I actually would prefer to keep it that way for now because I'll be able to take my bucket tool and fill it in later. So double click, and now I can move things around from here. So I've got the head on the top layer. That means it's like above everything else. But if I go to the right side of my screen, here are my layers, I can click the head and drag it underneath the body, and now it looks like it can dip underneath. For this particular one, I think it looks best up high. So try it out. Good luck.